So this is the third class we've done so far. And I wish everybody could have seen the whole series because as it progresses, it might be kind of difficult to understand some of the things I talk about in the future if you miss some of the classes. Or if you can, if you can afford it in the future, get the tapes. And that way they'll bring you up to speed because we just keep moving forward. And you can get lost. Last week we talked about the elements. This is the Chinese word for earth, which is D. Okay? We'll talk more about that. Peace, my brother. What's happening? Peace. Good to see you, my brother.
Likewise.
All right, all right. So, you can stop me at any moment, interject, add what you feel about. Because sometimes when people talk to you, thoughts come to your head, and you need to get them out so that everybody else can feed on that and elevate. We generate. That's why we're here, because we are similar in our thoughts. Otherwise, we wouldn't be even sitting here together. So what I say you might take with you and add your own stuff with it and feed on that. What you say, what a little child might say when coming here, I might go home and think about that for a month. So feel free. And my brother Shabazz is also going to talk a little bit and do some exercises or whatever the brother going to do, no problem. So I want to have more of an interaction. There's not a lot of us here. It may be later on. But like I said, your ideas mean a lot to me because that one statement, and I could design a whole text that could educate a lot of people. Sometimes you do things in this world and you don't know the impact of it. For one little thing, you could have told a child, pull your pants up, and you might have changed his whole life. You never know. You see. I want to give a shout out to my queen sitting right next to me. Jade, give her a big hand. The cameraman Terrence over there.
Thank you.
My brother Shabazz, and all my brothers out over here. Give yourself a hand for coming out today on a rainy day. Very good to see you today. Like I said, okay, so last week we dealt with the elements, and we dealt with water and wind. We'll talk a little bit about that today too. But today we're going to deal a little more with earth, because earth is really the beginning of any kind of magical rituals. And so we've been talking about the Immortals, and so why though? Why do I talk about the Immortals? That's past history and all of that, but they had lessons that they gave to their family as it progressed throughout history. It taught them how, the family, how to survive, how to live, how to, if your life is being shortened, how to extend it, and stuff like that. That's why niggas never look the age they really are. They always look younger than everybody else. A cracker will tell you that. Yo, what? You're 60? Damn, they all wrinkled up and pruned out and all of that. So you are immortal. It's just that your thoughts and the things that you do during your daily life takes away from that. And you possibly could still live a long time if you stay away from some of the poisons that there's so much information out here on. So nobody really needs to go into that too heavily. This is the symbol for Earth, a Chinese symbol. This line and this line right here represents what they call the humus. There's certain seeds that fall off of trees, certain leaves, certain nuts, and all of that fall into the dirt, and trees grow from that. That's what this and this represents. The other symbol right next to it is really the phonetics of it, how it's pronounced. But the whole thing in general can encompass, if you put it with other words, means something totally different. But by itself, it's a symbol for earth, which is pronounced D or Dai. Usually, when you see DI or CHI, it's more than what it looks like in English. Okay, like Sun Tzu's. Sun Tzu's, you can pronounce the T and the Z at the same time. So we'll say Sun, what is it called? Art of War.
Yeah,
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu, Sun Tuz, and all of that. Or Tao or Dao. It's really the T and the D at the same time.
Right.
So you're going with the earth energy, which would be Tao. So you're pronouncing the T and the D at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is very important. And don't forget, interject at any moment. I'm going to hand these sheets out. I'm going to need them. I would put them in my archives. I would study them if I were you. Because I went on ahead and typed out the Chinese characters that would symbolize those two elements. Pass one to the brother back there. and one for Moran over here, Terrence. Okay, those are very important papers that I just gave you. And briefly, let's just look through it. The top sheet, we went over this already, deals with water, fire, air, and earth. And if you look at water, it breaks down the different types of water. Okay? So if it's breaking down different types of water, different types of fire, different types of air, and there's more. There's more to this. So I left room for you to go ahead out and write down under which category that you find other types of water. Okay? So we look at water, it says streams, pools, lakes, and seas. I don't see ocean up there. You know, there are a lot of other things you can put up there.
Yeah.
Water, earth. What is water, earth? It's water connected to the earth energies.
Right.
Just like if we look at, say, a water molecule would look something like this. That's the oxygen, and that would be the hydrogen. Okay, so H2O. So you have H2O, and that's one molecule, but hydrogen is what? Well, hydrogen is what? Fire.
Right.
So fire lives inside water.
Yeah.
So what is that? You understand? That's what I'm talking about on this chart here.
Yeah, the extremes of the opposite.
Right. Every element that we talk about, earth, fire, wind, water, all of them encompass each other in a certain way. So you have inside water two molecules of fire. Okay? The water is what? Itself, oxygen itself is what? Negative.
Yeah.
And hydrogen is positive. Okay? So if you look at it, it says water, fire, which would be steam, geysers, hot springs, water, air, fog, mist, clouds, and hurricanes. Air, wind, tornado, jet streams, and so forth. Okay? Everyone understand that first sheet? Mm-hmm. And all you gotta do, when you walk through Central Park or you meditating or whatever, start jotting this stuff down. Write it up right up under there. If you turn to the next page, you'll see the symbol for chi. That's the Chinese symbol for chi. Now, chi can be written different ways. It depends on what kind of chi. Mm-hmm. This is active, energetic chi. This sheet of paper, you would take this sheet of paper, make a photocopy or whatever, and use it in a magical ritual. If you need energy, put it up, draw it on the wall, put it up on the wall, stick it up or whatever. But that represents chi. Chi is what? Life force energy. And that's what we're going to be working with today when we talk about fire. Okay? The fire element, that's the
Chi.
right. Then if you turn to the next page, you'll see what we have on the board, the D, or the dial. Okay? That's me trying to pronounce a T and a D at the same time. And you'll notice over on the side up there, you'll see the I Ching. The representation of it is the 6 lines correlating next to each other. Okay, that's going to be very important too. This can also be used in a magical ritual. And there's so many ways to use it. Number one, when you go out to, say, any park, pick up a rock. Do you know that a rock has information in it that is so old, so ancient, that it became so solid and so thick with that knowledge in it? That's what crystals are. That's what turquoise, gold, silver, all of that is solidified, solid information. So you could actually go pick up a certain kind of rock, and that rock will open you up to the information of that area. They always try to do the history on where you're getting the rock from, or where you're getting the crystal from, or what kind of tree. If you have a tree that you want to make your own, what's the history of that land where the tree is? You could use trees along with the earth. It's really connected to the earth, so it's really part of the earth energies. You could go into what's known as a cluster of trees. If you go into a cluster of trees, it's really a family of trees. Some of them are male and female. The female leaves will point down, the male leaves will point up. And when you go in the middle of it, you'll look up and you'll see a portal right in the center of those 4 or 5. So that's the portal that the earth energies are. It's like a gun. They're pointing you to this particular direction. use your energy to go through this particular archetype and use your magic that way. So you could do that too. And that's what we call nature magic. These are just some of the things that the Immortals taught the Moors or the Taoists. They also had the power to resurrect bodies. Not put the soul back in there, but the spirit back into the body. The body could get up and actually walk to its own grave. They had the power to do that. And we're going to talk more about that because the earth elements have the most spirits in it than any other of the other elements. Because, yeah.
Let me ask you, bro. Is the study of tuning into rocks, is that something like geomancy? Is that the same?
Geomancy would be more of a worldly, geo meaning earth or planet.
Okay.
You know, I would call it something other than that. I would call it nature, science of nature, or nature magic.
Right.
Because rocks are so different and so many of them, so much different information. Mountains and so forth are just ancient, powerful energies that you could use.
And that applies to fossils as well.
Fossils as well as even older,
Yeah,
because trees become fossils.
Yeah, because I notice when I wear fossilized jewelry, I can feel it. I always look at it and say, it's alive. It just feels alive.
Yeah, it comes to life on her. It actually does. Fossils come to
Yeah.
life on her.
They do.
But
I was thinking about that book, Water and Spirit, by the brother Maladona Some.
water and spirit?
There's a book that the brother wrote a couple of years back called Of Water and Spirit,
Yeah.
and he just talked about the initiation process that they went through. He missed the initial one because he got kidnapped by the Catholics,
Right.
and then a few years later.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, a few years later. Remember Maladona Soma? He came to
Yeah,
the UAM.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think I do remember that.
But the crazy thing is he talked about his later initiation because he had to do it to get back into the society, and he talked about the tree, the fire, the earth, and all that,
Right.
and he had to go hug the tree, talk to the tree, and before he got the inner aspect of it, he was just hugging the tree, talking about, oh man, this is crazy. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Then when the tree opened up and he got the
Information.
inner aspect of it, he was like, whoa, and the whole thing changed. So
Trees are powerful, brother.
yeah.
And the thing about trees, it ain't like I could tell you to go and make a tree your friend and you go make one your friend. That ain't how it goes. It's a science to it. So he knew something more than what, maybe he wrote or told you.
Yeah.
Because some trees have demons. We were out in
Bermuda. Remember I hugged that tree and it was full of ants? There was ants
Yeah.
all over it. So,
they leak. Some of them have, when you see a knot hole,
Sap.
a cut off leaf, a cut off limb, and you'll see a hard wooden hole there, that's energy leaking out. So they may have them in different spots. You look at the tree carefully because trees can have demons in them and they can be negative also. Just look at the tree and if it looks negative to you, then probably it is. It's probably not for you, So,
one time they had, it was like a lot of, I guess electricity, the wires and things that were on.
it was the cell phone towers that was killing all the trees over there. A lot of cell phone towers. That will do that to trees and animals. And you don't want to have too many cell phones around if you're dealing with wild animals, because they'll attack you. You just go off. Elephants, all of that, they'll just start breaking, going wild. Something about the frequency that, especially the elephant, there's something about the frequency that disturbs them. Yeah. But the trees, they become fossils. That's where you have the redwoods out in California, and of course we know that amber is the tree blood or the sap, if you will. Which that amber is so powerful that if you walk just through that forest, will open up ancient DNA within you. That's how powerful nature is. Nature is the magic. There's no magic higher than nature. So earth energies, this is the earth symbol. So like you want to do a ritual, you're going to use this symbol. We're going to talk more about what else to do with it. These symbols, you know, I hand drew these symbols. If you want, you could go get yourself a piece of paper and you hand draw them for your own energy. This is just the
I
layout.
see you use a particular color.
Yeah, I use because Earth is brown, and so you don't have to do that though. You know, but I like to go all the way with it. You know, if I'm going to do it all the way. So, and then you have Feng. Feng, we talked about this last week. And last week we showed what it meant. But anybody remember what it meant? Who was here? Shabazz was here. It means what?
The
A
fan.
fan, wind.
Yeah.
Right, a fan. This here, the outside is the fan. And this here on the inside is the insects and the leaves and everything that gets blown with the wind. Is this here. Usually when you have wind, you have thunder. We're going to talk about the thunder god later on as we progress through classes. And you'll see up here a spike and a hammer at the bottom. Okay, that's representative Thor. Thor is not the white cartoon that the cracker done told you about. That's dealing with the wind element, Feng.
Is this the same as Feng Shui?
It is Feng Shui.
Okay.
Because that's Feng, and then the water is Shui.
Ah.
Okay, so Feng Shui, when you hear that term, it's dealing with water and wind magic, which encompasses the chi and the earth elements.
It goes right back.
Yes, Feng Shui. A lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna go home and Feng Shui, clean. Yeah, well, okay, water and wind will do that. You know, as long as you know what you're doing, you know. So that's the element for water, which is Shu. And water, this particular symbol, represents the water or the lake streaming through, and both sides will be the current, how the river flows. This is really how it flows, that's the current, so, but both of them are really the same thing. Waters flow in different ways. They can make all kind of symbols in the water. They don't just flow back and forward. They make U's and X's and T's and crosses if you watch the water.
Spiral.
Right. And you always listen to the voice of the water. What is it saying? Is it crying? Is it laughing? Is it screaming? It does all those things. So does the wind. So that's how you determine the type of water you might want to use. You don't want to use some water that's rushing through, like making a loud noise like that. Because what does that noise say to you? When you turn on your faucet, they go, what is that sound? Remember, the Chinese guy already came and said, speak a certain vibration into your water.
Yeah.
Okay? So when the water comes out of your faucet, are you letting it splash out or you just let it slowly come out? What's the sound you're getting when it hits the glass? You understand? And that's the Shu, Feng Shui, as the brother had said. And so when we look at all of that, and before I go on, any questions on anything I just said?
You know, when you're at the doctor, you know, I don't really go, but I remember if I had to take a urine test, they would always say turn the water on. You know.
Turn the water on?
Yeah, they would say turn the water on so, you know, so it could pass easier or quicker or things like that.
Oh, the psychological aspect of that, yeah. Well, they capture your, when you go take a piss in a corporate building, they keep your urine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they keep your urine. The urine don't go to no river, none of that. They keep that shit. All right, you gotta understand that. Okay, so
Why would they do that?
I guess there's some properties in it, magical elements in it that they would use.
Yeah, urine is a medicine.
It's golden.
Yeah, it's a medicine.
It's a medicine.
Yeah, we know about urine therapy and all of that. But I would say them
Talking
niggas is
on
yeah,
another level,
yeah.
because in the occult, in the metaphysics or the mysticism, they'll use the urine to heal.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
In the occult, they'll use the urine to trace back to who it came from.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get in contact with the spirit of that individual through his urine.
Right. Yeah, because they do that with water.
Right.
They do that with distilled water. Don't drink distilled water. Distilled water has absolutely nothing in it. They make distilled water so they can put thoughts and entities in that water.
In fact, the water game that's being played right now, not to digress too much off of this,
Mm-hmm.
the water game, the only real water we need is boiled water. All the other waters are a game. And so far, black people have really swallowed this game up.
Mm.
You think drinking Cajun water, electrified water, battery operated water is going to really help you. But the planet has been here so long without that process in that way, and yet it has survived for ages. And you're drinking a modified version of a charged water. It's like electricity hitting the water. You're drinking a modified version of it, and you don't really have no idea what the side effect of the Cajun water actually is. Because from drinking it for a little while, you develop a bad taste for regular water. You can't even really, not that you can't, because your ass will be forced to. You don't really want to go back to drinking any other water other than that water. And no matter how much electricity hits water, and the current of electricity is so far out there that you can't even measure it. But yet, if you take Cajun water and put it at an 11, you get intoxicated.
Yeah, there's a balance that's needed.
You know, I agree because my mother has been drinking boiled water. She's always boiled her water since I was little, and even to this very day. And she's about 80 now, and you know, we're very playful. So I'll hit her last tag, and she catches me all the time. You know, so it does give you a lot of energy, and it works. Well, it works for her.
Yeah.
Well, it works because when we went away to a Taoist, a Buddhist function retreat or whatever, and all I drank, I fasted for those days, and I drank hot water, and that hot water was better than tea, coffee. I was like, wow, what the hell is the matter with me? I should have been doing this.
Yeah.
Just hot water.
And in reality, we're not supposed, water is supposed to be 98.6.
Yeah.
The same temperature as your body. You don't take anything outside other than the temperature in your body and put it back in your body. When you start putting cold things in your body gets shocked.
Yeah, you lose energy.
Your shit go through a shutdown for a second.
Yeah.
Chinese say that though. They tell you that in their medicine.
Everything is supposed to be body temperature because you're consuming it in your body. You're not trying to shock the body, you're trying to help heal it.
Right. And then when you think about it, cold helium. You know, when you drink the water, our water is actually liquid light because of those helium molecules. So it's kind of strange how we want, you know, because I like cold water, to be honest.
Me too.
But you know,
the
like you
reality
said,
of it, the reality of it is
Yeah,
that's a
it's-
fixation
Yeah.
that we've
It's
developed
a pleasure. It's yeah.
by looking at the hot and the cold.
Yeah, right,
They
right.
tell you room temperature a lot of times,
Yeah.
which is more
But
closer
you could
to-
train yourself, like I did. You could train yourself to drink, you know, I got out of that and trained myself to drink lukewarm or room temperature water or hot water. You can do that. You can train yourself to do any damn thing, really.
Because lukewarm room water, normal temperature water, you can drink as much as you want. At any rate you want. But cold water, you
gotta
can't
stop.
you can't drink it. Like you can't consume a quart of cold water.
That goes with hot water too, though, right? That's extreme too. Or?
An extreme hot, but 98.6, the same body temperature. It's just like in Taoism, they tell you do not ever allow yourself to be cut on. Do not expose the inside world to the outside world. Because they clash. Your blood is not red inside your body.
Right.
It's only red when it meets with this out here.
I've actually heard, I don't know, but I've heard that our blood was black on the inside and the Europeans' blood was supposed to be blue on the inside. I mean, but how do you?
If you get a real European who ain't came out and mixed with nothing else except Europeans and don't have none of that other shit in his bloodline, when you look at his skin, you'll see the blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll see the blue.
Sure will.
This is where the blue eyes, blonde hair, and pale skin is. The whole blood side, everything about
Blue
them is
blood. I wanted to say something. Since you're talking about the blood a little bit and the liquid nature stuff. I don't know whether, because I heard this before in terms of, I don't know if it was Dodd or you or, you know, one of the brothers discussing it, but they were saying that if you took some blood and took it somewhere else and you did something and treated the blood, the same way you treated that blood that's somewhere else would react the same way.
Oh, right. Alien.
Uh-huh.
The movie Alien. That's how they were, no, Thing, the movie The Thing. That's how they were able to tell who the thing was, by putting, getting the blood and putting a hot, like something hot, and then if that blood jumped or got burnt, the blood inside the thing would do the same thing.
So it's almost like radionomics or something like that, where you put something in one space and it's the same DNA, same structure and everything, and then the other piece, wherever it is, away from you personally, would react the same way.
Well, that's what Obama is.
That's the umbilical.
Yeah, that's what Obama is.
That's your umbilical.
When's the last time a nigga came up, or any fucking body came up and said, I'm gonna be president, my name is Obama? Sounded just like the nigga you hate, Osama. That shit ain't never happened in history. That's the good cop, bad cop shit going on a larger scale.
The only thing this
The only
thing this nigga here is 10 times your worst nightmare.
Yes, he is, because he was planned that way. That's why, if you look at the Korean that Obama picked, named Kim, he has almost the same name as the Korean president that was just elected, named Kim. So there's a vibratory connection. And that's, again, Korea is going to be the bad guy, America will be the good guy. It's on a bigger scale. The same thing they do in the precinct is the same thing they do in America. Let's give them, who the fuck is Obama? Come on now, before he came running for president, you ain't never heard no shit like
First
this.
of all, in this country, it is taboo to have anything other than the European name. So,
Especially in politics.
Anybody who came up in the 60s know, if you went around, most of us started changing
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I know
to
what you're
African
saying.
names
Yeah.
back in the 50s and the 60s. And that was
Really,
taboo.
really, 70s, 80s, really.
Yeah, it was taboo.
Yeah.
Nigga, what? You came in the house, your mother flipped her wig about that. Young nigga, I didn't name you that.
Yeah, you're right. No
Now
doubt.
all of a sudden, you get a person who a white man told you 40 years before it happened that it's going to happen.
Obama, you mean?
A cracker stated this 40 years ago. When they killed John Kennedy, his brother Robert told him that his brother John told him before they assassinated him that in 40 years the black man was going to be a black man was going to be president. So you got to watch the process. The abortion program speeded up. When that statement was made, when Robert Kennedy made that known, the abortion thing speeded up. Right. Because they know that it's a nigga coming that's getting ready to flip this wig. So what they did was they programmed their own nigga. They went to the laboratory, took Yaku's history, and did the genetical research to figure out what could I do with this and what could I do with this. This nigga has no Caucasian DNA.
He got a lot of different other DNA of darker races in him.
Yeah.
And that's why they use him, like the brother was saying, those genetics that tie into those people, you see.
And he's matched up with the family. See, remember, this is still England.
Yeah, this is England right here. Yeah.
This is
New England.
This is the royal family that we're playing with right now. The Bush, the Cheney, the Obama,
Rockefeller,
the Rock. All of this is the royal families here on this side of the water, and all of the genetics is put in this nigga.
That's right.
All the genetics was pumped in this nigga. This nigga is when people find out who he really is, Oh, if you voted for that nigga,
I didn't.
you
Somebody
gonna
was
wanna-
just killed that had a birth certificate, his real shit. Somebody,
You gonna-
a guy was just killed for
all
that.
right, you gonna want to die. Because they ain't did no research to see who this nigga really is. And the nigga's so smart that when he first became president, he dropped the key as to who he was. And ain't I haven't heard nobody yet pay this shit no mind. The nigga went and had a brand new limousine built. Brand new president limousine. And he specifically named this motherfucker the Beast. The first president of all the presidents in the world. This nigga named it the Beast. And he didn't name it the Beast unconsciously. This nigga know what he was talking about. This why he don't care when he have meetings and niggas have guns and bring their assault rifles into the meeting and,
Right.
and nobody stopping them niggas and everybody talking about killing them. Man, nigga, you niggas ain't gonna do nothing. You niggas must really know who y'all talking to. You don't know who I am yet?
You know, back in the day, we had a term for that called Big Brother. Okay, Big Brother was his name.
Yeah. This is the baddest gunslinging nigga in the world. He did what no other cracker, not no devil on earth has done what this nigga did.
And the mind control goes on and on and on, man.
Yeah.
A lot of mind control. Like the brother was supposedly shot with the hoodie,
Trayvon?
Trayvon or whatever.
Yeah.
That's mind control because really what's happening there, niggas ain't the only ones wearing hoodies. Every fucking body wear a hoodie.
Yeah.
Adults, children, everybody.
Come on.
So what's the mind control? The mind control is they gave you fucking Zodiac killer with all them hood with that hood on for years. Who's the Zodiac killer? The Zodiac, and they would give you the image that to wear a hoodie had something to do with either murder or terrorism or whatever.
Right.
And so this dumb motherfucker that shoots this kid clearly, killed him for no reason. This dumb nigga's under mind control. Look at his face. Look at. Just watch and read what's going on. They won't even arrest him. Why? Because his controllers are in control of that. We control this. This ain't got nothing to do
And
with.
what is the nigga's name?
Yeah.
Zimmerman. So what's the purpose of
This
killing
is
his
a
brother?
Jew.
What's the,
This is a Jew
Yeah.
who killed a nigga.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the white boy in the Daily News, Lupka, he said, look, the only problem was that damn gun. How do you give a Jew a gun who already had an assault charge against him from the police department?
Mm-hmm.
they ain't doing no homework on him.
What? They did their homework on
I mean,
it. They ain't, this
Reversing
nigga
it,
is a
reversing.
hand, this nigga got a carte blanche.
Sleeper.
And I looked up the word sleeper.
Mm-hmm. Break it down, bro. Break it on down.
Yo, this was I've seen a lot of shit, but this really caught me off. I said, what is a sleeper? Do you have any idea what the word means? One who is successful.
Yeah.
I thought we was gonna go into some espionage shit where I was gonna hear all kinds of crazy hypnotic brain programming mind. No, this nigga, a sleeper is a nigga who is successful.
Successful what he did.
And all sleepers are guaranteed to get their target.
Mm-hmm. Now, brother asked the question on why.
yeah.
Well, what's the end result of that? What are they talking about? Hoodies. Well,
Right.
they're not focusing on Trayvon. They're focusing on wearing hoodies.
Symbol.
Even got all these niggas wearing hoodies.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta understand, because now, first of all, that's gonna disassociate you from probably your young folks. Then uncover your head so we can see who you are and so forth. I can name a million things.
And the
But
black
the focus is the hoodie. They don't give a damn about Trayvon because that's a 14th Amendment citizen. They don't consider him
the black mass.
free.
What is the name? What is the main outfit of the black mass?
The hoodie.
The robe with the hoodie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So so what's
V for Vendetta.
the issues? What psychologically they trying to perpetuate on the masses? They say it's all about mind control.
Mind control. Yeah, mind control meaning that.
If I tell you what it do, if I suggest to you that today, if a woman wears a bra, she's a whore. And tomorrow morning, all women will stop wearing bras. If I tell a man, any man who wear briefs is a homo, all niggas will stop wearing briefs tomorrow morning. If I say wear one cheek of your ass out and you'll be a high society individual, I guarantee you 2 days from the day, them niggas gonna come out, everybody cheeking their ass of the pants gonna be cut out, and they gonna be walking down exposing one cheek of their ass because they wanna be royalty. Mind control is simply, if I suggest it, you do it. Go back to the Bible. What was the only power that the devil was given? Suggestion.
Yeah.
No, it ain't no physical power, nigga. I'm just suggesting that you do this.
Prince of the powers of the air.
Yeah. Pazuzu.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, when you get sick, take an aspirin.
So the Obama thing, what's that about then? What you know, we know you're part of the beats. What's just keep the masses? Because people voted for him, thinking, you know.
Okay, they have to give you Osama and Obama. When they first started talking about it, you didn't know the difference. That is to give you, look, there's a bad Obama over here doing these things to you. We need you to vote for us to go and do this against them. Good guy, bad cop. They both on the same side. But they're giving you the good guy, bad guy situation so that you would play into getting the bad guy. Same thing with this guy Kim. They're going to start something with Korea and get their ass tore up. But they're the same name, but they want to give you the good look. We're attacking Korea and all of that, but we got a Korean guy working for us. Yeah. And his name is Kim too, so it ain't no racial thing. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a good thing over here because he's helping us to get these bad people. Yeah. You understand? That's the science on that. Cause the problem, and Jordan Maxwell explained it best. And give you that problem, and you ask them for a solution to that. Yeah. European, not you, of course, not you, but that's what cracker civilization is all about. These savages. They really, like I said last week, they really just became. They're still savage, but they're less savage than they were maybe 100 years ago. From 100 years back, they were really savage, but they're still pretty bad. But they have formulated or gone by a more system of courts and law and all of that kind of stuff.
And you know what's strange? And I don't mean to come down on our people, man. But the more I look at and I hear my Moorish brothers tell me about how great they really are, they are the ones responsible for placing the devil in the position that he is in and giving him the right to do the shit that he does.
Yeah.
Based upon an agreement. And I can't figure out how we knew who the devil was before he got here. So it's not like we don't know. How do you make an agreement with this nigga? How do you make a friendship treaty with the devil?
It's a savage, brother.
And then turn around and tell me to trust your ass in 2012 to eradicate certain shit. I mean, I don't understand. See, that's a devil mind control. Here's the nigga you telling me is the devil.
Right.
Okay. And the devil is your open enemy. Okay. And wherever you find your open enemy, you fight that nigga.
There you go.
Okay. Now, I went and made a friendship treaty with this nigga, but I ain't made a friendship treaty with no nigga look like me. They ain't showed me one friendship agreement with a nigga that look like, now then I can't even say I'm black. Nigga tried to tell me that the word black is a new word just introduced on the I said, damn man, this is real deep. So I went to do some homework to figure out why is it we can't say we're black. And according to the information, the only reason these niggas won't say that they're black is because the white man was sticking his foot up niggas' asses who said they were black. So the best way to get his foot off your ass was don't say you're black. Don't say you're colored.
And it's kind of paradoxical too, because if you study the German language, black was blank. Blanco's white. You know, so you don't even really know what the fuck. They got shit so screwed up that now you have to go back and look at the energy of the word. Like, for instance, if I say black now, it don't mean, nigga, I went through this and the cracker did that. It means the vibratory or the vibration of the content of what I'm saying.
Yeah, in fact, black or darkness or that which is void of color
Mhm.
is the very place where all
All the
life
colors.
is made in.
Yeah.
The black hole.
Right,
Black light.
right. You don't want to say you going between your woman's white light. You can't look up in between her legs and see shit.
That's right.
Even with a flashlight, nigga. That's how black and dark that hole is.
That's right.
And this is where all life come from. But yet, since the white man say it has a negative connotation to it, you don't want to use it.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out, well, if we're not going to use that, then let's stop using the black hole. Now, nigga, where you going to go into?
Black ass? Oh, I don't know.
Because I'm saying if we have opened a can of worms with this shit.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, we here, we understand all that. We're discussing how to look at that, okay? Really, you should consider yourself whoever the fuck you want. God, this, that, the other, because that's where you should, your mind, never put yourself in that box. Always leave yourself room to expand, because you're constantly growing. That's why you're still alive.
Yeah, I have to make a correction. It's not the Zodiac Killer, it's the Unabomber. That's the
Unabomber?
one that had the hood.
Right.
Okay. I thought they both did.
Yeah, I think they both did, didn't they?
No, I don't. No, because the Unabomber had the hood with the glasses. Remember that was the most
Right,
the
right,
picture that
yeah.
they showed the most.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's the Unabomber.
And hoods are always, remember, they don't do mind control unless they do ritual ceremonies and stuff like that to go with it. And that's where you wear hoods.
And the hood is Masonic.
Yeah, that's where you wear hoods. That's why the kid kept saying, help, 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 but you didn't hear the guy saying anything. He was receiving instructions, okay, through a chip or an implant or whatever. So,
The creator of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, wears a hoodie all the time. If you saw that movie, that's all he was wearing throughout the whole movie. It was a hoodie.
right. And then the father should have had enough sense, since the son wasn't from there. Look, son, when you go this way, do this, keep it moving, whatever, whatever.
But
You
see,
know.
then, I mean, the media has the kid on the defense.
Mhm.
Why should I have to detour to take a walk down the street?
Right, that's true.
I mean, why should I have to be extra careful when I walk in a community that I live in?
Mhm.
See, because if they can get away with that there, nigga, he is next.
Mhm.
This nigga's whole case is based on the stand your ground law.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The stand your ground law is if a person attacks you, you can defend yourself. But the stand your ground law has no validity when you follow a nigga down the block.
Yeah. Because they told him to stand down. Supposedly the 911 officer told him to stand down. So
They can't tell him nothing, brother. He's under mind control.
That nigga
Right.
taking
I mean,
orders
the
from
I know what you're saying.
Burn
Yeah.
Humperdinck.
But the reality is that he made the call into them to legitimize it, and then they said, okay, you did what you had to do. Stay back, keep an eye on him. You know,
Here's what they do.
well, I'm going in.
What they do is they'll he might have got on his walkie-talkie or whatever. What they do is they split the brain right at the pineal gland. And when they do that, the right side of the brain goes to sleep. And then the left side of the brain wakes up and does what it has to do. Then when you go to sleep, that information ciphers through the pineal gland and goes into the right brain, and you don't remember it physically happening. You thought it was a dream. Because the right side was asleep. You thought you were asleep and it was just a dream. So he really believed what he said. That's what sleepers do. They believe exactly what, when you hear, I didn't do that, I didn't do this. But they actually did it, they just don't remember. And they do that with the emergency broadcast system.
Yeah.
See,
Wow.
you know, it's deep. If, again, this shit only works if we play into it.
Yes, you have a choice.
I want to say,
Very true.
Yes.
Go into the emergency broadcasting system a little bit more.
The emergency broadcast system sends out a signal, and you'll hear it at night. They used to go like like that. Now it does that. Then they speed up the words real fast. This is all because why? It's late at night. It's 3 in the morning. You're either asleep already or going to sleep. Okay, and they send that into the right brain. When they send that into now, if you have a chip, you go and go kill somebody, come back to bed and lay down. If you have a chip in your head. If you don't have a chip in your head, whatever they sent is going to enter into your dreams, and you think that's your dream. Okay, and your dream really dictates your life. Okay, you use your dream world to maneuver through the physical world. That's why he said, "What does sleeper mean?" And he said it means success. Okay.
And I noticed that they've been doing that a lot more often now.
And I'm
with
seeing
that
a lot more sleepers all over the
Like
place.
it used to be like a once in a while type thing. Now it happens like often.
Look,
Every day.
It's everywhere, my brother. When you see somebody, like just recently, I went out to a lecture, Jewel Pooprum lecture. And I love the sister, dynamite information. But when I got there, she had this straight weave on. And she had these tight pants all up her butt. She was telling people to eat pork and do this and do all this kind of stuff.
You serious, bro?
Throwing people out of the audience and all kind of stuff. And I said, look, if y'all don't see this is mind control, y'all ain't gonna see it. You're not gonna get it. That is remember, they had it at, what was it, LIU? What the fuck is LIU doing in Brooklyn? That's Long Island, that's Montauk. That's dealing with Montauk Project. That's all, and Peter Moon told me that when he came down here, okay? When you're dealing with that college in particular, it was left in Long Island, in Brooklyn, as a mind control center. And that's what colleges are anyway. They train you to think the way they want you to think.
That and Columbia University.
Yeah.
True.
So you gotta remember, that's where you get the term Brooklyn from. Brooklyn were these Europeans who moved to Lynbrook. You just spell Lynbrook backwards, you get Brooklyn. Okay, they moved to Lynbrook from Brooklyn. Okay, because black people started moving in. You see, so it's all dealt with mind control, and there's a lot of it. Look at Whitney Houston. Definitely mind control. They had the ritual, which was her, and the ceremony, which was the sister with the red, what's her name? Nicki Minaj?
Yeah.
That's the ceremony. The ritual was Whitney Houston by drowning her like Queen of the Damned or somebody. Before that, they did Amy Winehouse, who did the whole soul thing. Okay, they killed her, killed Whitney, and a whole slew of other niggas. But they have, you can always tell by the ceremonial dates that they have.
For what reason? I mean, Whitney wasn't politically energy to empower them. But was
Because
she had
when you
something
die,
from her emanating from her was they needed her energy or something? Or?
right, because she had no consciousness. They can't take the energy from a conscious being.
Right.
You have to be an unconscious being for them to do that. She had no consciousness whatsoever. When Amy Winehouse was a sleeper from the very beginning, okay? So and of course you know Mickey Minaj, look at her.
Michael Jackson
If
took
you don't recognize that shit. Michael, I don't know about Michael. Michael was getting kind of rebellious because he had hit the age of 40.
And he woke up.
Once you hit the age of 40,
Michael woke up.
yes, because once you hit the age of 40, your mind controls start to break down. That's what happens. That's why they don't program adults.
But it's a good question.
They
he
said that
asked.
her daughter, one second, big brother. They said that her daughter almost drowned the same way the day before, either the day before or 2 days before. And somehow she was saved. But it was the same instance.
Brother, they eat the body parts.
And the whole thing. Huh?
What they do is they capture something called, they have a machine. Like she might have been drowning, they pull up out of the water, they put the machine over her mouth to capture her soul. They capture that and they capture a mist that comes out of the top of your head called adrenochrome. And then when they do that, they know how to turn that into a liquid. They fill up these big vats with that liquid and throw the rest of the body in there and mix that shit as a soup. They eat it like they do McDonald's or whatever food store you go to. It's in there too. Like I always said, never buy candy on Halloween, Christmas, Easter, and all that. It all got blood in it. It all got adrenochrome. It got all that stuff in it. Okay, and they do that, and that's a proven fact. You could get the book by Springmeyer called "How to Create a Total Mind Control Slave," and he breaks it down to the T.
What?
Down to the T. He's in jail. They locked
He
him
still
up.
got him in jail?
They got him in jail for writing a fucking book.
But I thought that was from
I'm like-
from the joint to Bloodlines, right?
No, How to Create a Total Mind Control Slave is 2 volumes of that shit. And they got some fucked up shit in there. So, but that will open you up to the dates, how they do the rituals, what they do them for, what's the reason for it. All Don Cornelius is probably, if he's not conscious, he's probably at least did the most work for black music industry ever, was Don Cornelius. But you don't hear what? Not a damn thing about him, because they didn't do the killing. Not only did not do the killing, but they don't want that energy out there. That's why they killed Amy Winehouse. She was Soul Train. She was Soul Train. She was singing everything that was on Soul Train. All right? So it's a massive, massive ritual that they do constantly, which we're going to get into, dealing with the earth elements, the wind, and what you can do about this shit. Instead of me just, talking about, hey, this happened, that happened. This happened. No, what are we going to do about it, though? You understand?
Yo, I'm glad you brought that up. Cause I've been doing some homework on just how to eradicate a lot of these problems.
Mm-hmm. Let us know, brother.
Brother, one thing, what we need to start doing, cause niggas like collecting newspapers and articles.
Yeah.
Well, since you like doing that, here's your job. I want you to get all of the niggas' pictures who do the wrong. And every time we have a class, I want you to bring them pictures right here. And we're gonna take them pictures and put them niggas in aluminum foil and wrap them niggas up. I'm gonna tell you how what the process is. And you throw that nigga in the freezer. And I guarantee you, 72 hours after you put that nigga ass in the freezer, game gonna be over. Game gonna be different. And Whitey gonna know that there's a nigga on another level doing some shit.
Oh, they know. They know. Just the mere fact, your thoughts. That's why you can't get caught up into the fucking, what's the cat name again with the hood? Trayvon. You can't get caught up in that. That's for the masses.
Yeah.
You gotta have spiritual people who's on course. Because they're spiritual people don't get into that. That's low level to them. They're doing their rituals, and the masters of their occult groups will cipher that. Okay, now you did it. Let's use the energy. So for us, we're not gonna Sean Bell, this one, that one, and all that. That's for a whole nother group of people.
Nigga, they after a whole nation.
Yeah.
They ain't after no 1 or 2 of them niggas. Them niggas don't even count in the scheme.
Nope.
But we gotta combat it. If you say you're an occultist, or a mystic, or a metaphysician, a wizard, a warlock, a sorceress, or whatever the hell you are, then you gotta get on your program. And you gotta fight this shit on whatever level you on, that you know how to fight it. Just I would start making some stones that when the wrong nigga put the stone on, that shit drive that nigga straight into
There you go.
that nigga run in front of the traffic, jump off the roof. Oh, I would have me some.
Well, I'll let y'all handle that aspect of it. I'm a cracker killer. So, I mean, there's some fucked up niggas that need to.
Yeah.
But see, when I deal with the cracker,
It's
fuck him
everything
over.
goes.
Yeah, well, when I fuck with the cracker, the nigga shit, that gets taken care of karmically by itself.
Yeah, but
Just stay on that nigga.
no, what I'm saying with the jury,
This nigga-
because I already know
No, we got people for that, like you.
that the level that shit there is on, I already know they coming for this. Twin was already telling me out in Atlanta how the church niggas,
Want that, yeah.
the church niggas, it's taboo in a church to fuck with stones.
Yeah.
Whole lot of
So-
stuff.
Since it's taboo and they coming for this shit, I already know why they coming. Come on. Come on, the Pied Piper. You the Pied Piper. Let's blow your flute and let them niggas march right up to the cliff.
I'm blowing.
Oh, and
Right, baby?
and go right over the top. Because somebody gonna have to do this job. Because we keep thinking that it's economics or it's skin color You got to fight this nigga on all levels.
Yep.
Even down to how you use words, the vibratory pitch of words, colors, on what day you do what. Every day has a significant purpose that a vibration reaches a certain pitch at that day, and it's on that particular day that it's good to do certain things.
That's right.
Some days it's not good to do certain things on. And when you start sciencing the days of the week, and then the hours of the day, then you know exactly what time to implement your ritual and get the best desired effect. If you want to find out who a person is, there's a simple method in mathematics and numerology. You can write a nigga's name down, and in 3 minutes you'll know all about this nigga, and he ain't got to open his mouth. All he got to do is write his name down, and you put a number over each letter of his name. Vowels on the top, consonants on the bottom. Add up the top number, add up the bottom number, give you a middle number. Those 3 numbers, the latent soul, the personality, and the hidden self, will tell you exactly who that individual really is. And you ain't got to go through no, oh, let's go out to dinner and have a conversation, baby. Nah, just tell me your name. That's all. All I need to know is your first, middle, and last name. And if you write that shit down, I guarantee you, and that's why when you write your name down, always spell it out. Don't never write it in script.
Connected to that, yeah.
When you write it in script, that's a signature. Your signature can give you a whole lot of problems in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
So you just write it in block letters with no connection. No letter has no connection to the next. So a nigga can't get a hold of you in that realm. But these are things we supposed to be knowing. As cultists, metaphysics, or whatever we calling ourselves, we supposed to know all this type of magic.
Yeah, we have to bring it back.
One thing I would say also is that in addition to with the water, in addition to boiling it, you also would like to do your own ritual in terms of taking your energy and adding your energy to the water and putting your elixir in it so that that energy that you use will heal you or anybody else that you give it
And you
to.
could do that by a glass on the table. Simple, this is real simple. There are a whole lot of other ways. These 2 fingers right here, over your water like that, will emit that vibration in there. Remember, also watch how the water came into the glass. Okay?
Oh.
Now, you could, like last week, there are words, like Shabazz was saying, that are very powerful, but they don't have any meaning. They're not restricted. Go get the movie, what is it called? Mary Poppins. Everybody on the planet knows supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Everybody on the planet.
You know, can I just
They know that. I walked outside the other day and there was a guy with his kid and he was asking about words. I said, well, you ever heard of super? He said, yes. Well, he started singing it. I was like, wait a second now, hold up. But just to show you the power of the intent. Not,
Word. Right.
Because Shabazz mentioned, well, you mentioned the water and you mentioned, the other ways that you can, feel something out. Well, anyway, with stones, if someone gives me a stone to wrap, which is like almost all the time, I could take that stone and I feel so much. But it was this one particular person, I wrapped his stone and I started feeling really tired. And I'm never really tired, but I'm making, and all of a sudden I just felt, it was just the weirdest feeling. And I had to put it down and go to sleep. I would sleep for maybe about 2 or 3 hours, and it was, it was almost like I had an anxiety attack or something, like out of nowhere. So, I confronted him and I said, I asked him, do you have anxiety attacks and things like that? He said, how did you know? It was all in the stones. Yeah. So now, so I started paying attention to that. So it's like when people give me, stones and things to wrap, I feel it out, and, I know a lot of times I don't say anything unless someone asks me, or if it's really serious, if I really got like a serious impact, I'll let you know.
Carry a lot of energy.
Oh my God, so much.
Are very, very powerful, man. They're living things.
Yeah.
They have a wealth of knowledge, more
Yeah.
knowledge than you got.
There's,
Yeah.
That's why they'll rock.
there's a way.
Hold on, let me get you.
Things I got.
Oh yeah, let me tell you something. One of
That-
the best things you can do is get a green jar. Get you a green jar. Take that green jar, and when it rains, let the rainwater fall in that green jar. And then put your stones in your green jars.
I gotta remind you, bro, when you get a chance.
That's air water, right? It's called